Hello everyone, myself Jayashree Kudal. I welcome you back to the channel Srinath Jara Physics. In last lecture, we were solving the questions of thermodynamics which are asked in GST exam. Okay, so we continued that series till question number 8 I have solved, and I hope you have followed the question number 8 very well. So let's start from question number 9. Okay, for which case the ratio of specific heats Cp by Cv will be largest. Here we are given the options monoatomic, triatomic, diatomic and hexaatomic. Ratio of specific heats which we denote by gamma is equal to Cp by Cv, right? We know for monoatomic this ratio is 5 by 3, which is nearly equal to 1.66 whatever 666. Okay, for diatomic gamma equals to 7 by 5, which is equal to 1.4. Okay, so we see here degree of freedom is according to degree of freedom we find Cp and Cv. Okay, here the ratio of gamma is equal to Cp by Cv is 1.66 for monoatomic. For diatomic it is 1.4, and as we move on further this ratio becomes lower. We are given that we need to find the largest ratio, which is for monoatomic. Okay, here A is our right option. Question number 10th. You can see from here also, okay, gamma equals to 1 plus 2 by f. Then as you see f increase, then gamma decrease. Okay, you can use this also. Question number 10th is saying an ideal gas is compressed adiabatically, okay, from an initial volume V to a final volume alpha V. Okay, we are given Vi and Vf, and the work is done on system is doing in doing so. Okay, in doing so work is W is done on the system. The final pressure of the gas will be, we need to find what is the value of Pf here. Okay, let's start. We are given work W now, and here process is adiabatic. What is the work done in adiabatic? If you remember, you can simply use that. Okay, work done in adiabatic process. I am using it here because we are given volume V and P now, and we need to calculate the relation to these only. So here work done in adiabatic process W is equal to what? P2 V2 minus P1 V1 divided by 1 minus gamma, right? I need to find what is the value of P2, that is P final. Okay, here we are given adiabatic process, that means these will follow P V to the power gamma equals to constant relation, right? That means P1 V1 to the power gamma equals to P2 V2 to the power gamma. So using this relation I can write P1 equals to what? P2 V1 by V2 to the power gamma, P2 V1 by V2. V1 initial volume is V, V2 final volume is alpha V. Alpha V to the power gamma, V2 V cancel out. Okay, that means P1 equals to P2 1 divided by alpha to the power gamma. Oh sorry, I did some calculation mistake. Here P1 equals to V2 was above now, so it is V2, it is V1. Alpha will be on upper side, so it will be alpha to the power gamma. Ratio is P1 equals to what? Here V2 na, it is going down, so V2 by V1, sorry for that. Okay, so P1 equals to P2 alpha to the power gamma. I can use it. See, W, if I send it here, 1 minus gamma equals to P2, V2 is given alpha V, okay, alpha V minus P1. P1 what I calculated? P2 alpha to the power gamma. V1 is V. Tell it, okay. Just take common V2. Then what we get? P2V, okay. Alpha minus alpha to the power gamma. Here LHS is already W1 minus gamma. This implies that final pressure P2 can be written as W1 minus gamma divided by what? V, okay, and from here alpha minus alpha to the power gamma. So we can see which option is matching here. W1 minus gamma V, okay, this is our right option. Okay, answer of is C. Next is question number 11. The black body at a temperature of 6000 Kelvin emits a radiation, black body, okay, emits a okay, just read it first. Emits a radiation whose intensity spectrum peaks at 600 nanometer If the temperature is reduced to 300 Kelvin, the spectrum will peak at what? I already made you this thing clear in previous lectures, that what this peak mean in black body and what is the relation. So I am directly using it here, that using Wien's law for black body, what we know, lambda m T equals to constant. Okay, where what is lambda m? That value of wavelength where the energy density, or I must say intensity, okay, intensity is having a peak, like in this curve, that value where of lambda where this thing is at peak, that means highest, that is called lambda m. Okay, here I can take intensity, here lambda at different temperatures. This graph is plotted. I am not explaining it again, just we are using this result here. Okay, that means lambda 1 T1 is equal to what? Lambda T2 T2. Lambda 1 is given as 600 nanometer, right? So here 600 nanometer. Temperature T1 is 6000 Kelvin. 6000 Kelvin equals to what? Lambda 2 we need to calculate. Okay, lambda 2 and T2 is given 300 Kelvin. 300 Kelvin. So I can solve it here only. So lambda 2 equals to 12000 nanometer. I can write it as 12 micrometer. Okay, so option B is our right answer. Next is question number 12. What it is saying, the entropy temperature diagram of two Carnot engines A and B as shown in figure. Okay, here it is for A, here it is for B. The efficiencies of the engines are neta A and neta B respectively. For Carnot engine A, efficiency is neta A, and for B it is obviously neta B. Which one of the following inequalities is correct? Why is it saying inequalities? You can write relations. Okay, okay, which one is correct? We need to find that option. See here, you can do using TS diagram curve. Okay, that the area under the curve gives us work done and all that stuff. Here because the intervals are same, I am solving using that thing. Okay, like see, it be 0 for temperature scale, it be T, 2T, 3T, 4T. Okay, because I think it would be an easier method, so I am solving by this. You can solve by that method also if you know how to write the work done for TS and use that all. Okay, again Hindi. Okay, so see, we know that the efficiency is given by neta equals to 1 minus T2 divided by T1, where what is T2? T2 is the temperature of sink, that means lower temperature, and T1 is the temperature of source, that means higher temperature, right? Here neta A can be written as 1 minus. Lower temperature is T, higher temperature is 2T, 1 minus half, which is equal to half. For B, neta B can be written as same 1 minus T2 by T1 now. 1 minus T2, which is lower temperature, okay, which is 3T. Higher temperature, for this curve we are watching. Okay, for this curve of A, lower temperature is T, higher is T2. Okay, for this curve of B, lower temperature is 3T and higher is 4T. 1 minus, okay, this thing 1 minus 3 by 4, which equals to 1 by 4. That means neta equals to half, neta B equals to 1 by 4. This implies that neta A equals to what? Twice of neta B. Okay, 2 into 1 by 4 equals to 1 by 2, right? So neta A equals to twice of neta B. Option D is our right answer. See the next question. Question number 13. Electrons of mass m in a thin long wire at a temperature T follow a one-dimensional Maxwell velocity distribution. Maxwell velocity distribution, just see this, it is one dimension. Okay, don't get confused in exam in hurry. Many students do this thing, that they just consider 3 dimension and write the results for 3 dimension. Okay, see here they are saying 1 dimension. The most probable speed of these electrons is, most probable speed, what it is? Obviously 0. Okay, see, V average is equal to 0. I am talking about 1 dimension. Okay, V RMS equals to under root of KT by M, and V most probable is equal to 0. So here 0 is our right option. Next is question number 14th. An ideal gas has a specific heat ratio Cp by Cv equals to 2. Okay, Cv by Cv is given to. Starting at a temperature T1, the gas undergoes an isothermal compression to increase its density by a factor of 2. First of all, isothermal compression is happening. That means let it be the stage. It reach from here to here. Okay. Here at starting temperature is T1. At this point also temperature is T1. Okay. Because the process is isothermal compression. Here in this process density is increasing by a factor of 2. Okay. After this, an adiabatic compression increases its pressure by a factor of 2. Then a adiabatic compression occur which increases its pressure by a factor of 2. That means if at this point pressure is P1, then after this adiabatic compression, here pressure is P2 equals to twice of P1. Okay. The temperature of gas at the end of second process. What is the value of temperature here? I need to calculate this. Okay, see here what we are given for isothermal compression density increases by a factor of 2, but to calculate the answer this will not be useful. Okay, because it will give us a relation in volume, that what is the relation between V1 and V2. Even after calculating that we don't find any use of that, so directly we can use this process. Okay, adiabatic compression, we are here having P and T, okay, pressure and temperature. So according to adiabatic process, what is the relation for them, what remains constant? Okay, T to the power gamma, P to the power 1 minus gamma is equal to constant. Okay, just solve this equation and you will get your answer, because we are given gamma. Okay, we are given the relation of P2 and P1. If we use this density, again I am telling, we just get a relation for V2 and V1, which is not useful here to find T. Okay, without that also we can find, so directly proceed to this one process. Okay, so here T1 to the power gamma, P1 to the power 1 minus gamma equals to T2 P2 to the power 1 minus gamma. This implies that T2 to the power gamma is equal to T1 to the power gamma. Okay, P1 divided by P2. I can write P2 as twice of P1. It is given in the question, that is pressure by a factor of 2 increases. Okay, so P2 equals to 2P1. That means 2P1 to the power 1 minus gamma. Okay, so T2 to the power gamma. Okay, just to take gamma root of it. Okay, that means I just find T2 equals to what? T1 1 by 2 to the power 1 minus gamma divided by gamma. Okay, I just need to calculate this thing. What is 1 minus gamma by gamma? We are given Cp by Cv equals to 2. What is gamma? Gamma equals to Cp by Cv. That means we are given gamma equals to 2. Then 1 minus gamma by gamma equals to what? 1 minus 2 by 2 equals to minus 1 by 2. Okay, so it is equal to T1 1 by 2 to the power minus 1 by 2. That means T1 1 by 2 to the power 1 by 2. Okay, I can write it as here. That means under root of 2 T1. So B is our right answer. Here it is root 2 into T1. Okay, I extended the root. It is root 2 into T1. So B is our right answer. Question number 15th. Okay, an ideal gas with adiabatic exponent gamma undergoes a process in which its pressure P is related to its volume V by this relation. Okay, where P naught and alpha are positive constant, the volume starts from being very close to 0 and increases monotonically to P naught by alpha. At what value of volume during process does the gas have maximum entropy? For maximum entropy, what will be the value of volume? So if I find ds by dv equals to 0, if I apply this condition, then I will get that for which entropy will become maximum, and for which value of volume we will get to this. So first, to do this I need to do a lot of stuff. Okay, it is very lengthy question. I hope I would be able to do this in this space. Let's see. Okay, let's start. Uh, just apply first of all first law of thermodynamics. Okay, what it says, dq is equal to du plus dw, right? I can write dq as tds, dus and cv dt plus dw as pdv. Okay, all these things are, I hope, clear to you. Okay, now we need to put the value of cv here in form, just to see how I do it. I hope you would be knowing, but still I think I should explain at least once. Cp minus Cv equals to R, gamma equals to Cp by Cv. Okay, when I use both this relation, I get Cv is equal to R divided by gamma minus 1. Okay, just here put Cp equals to what? From here Cp equals to R plus Cv. Put here Cp equals to R plus Cv. Then just divide and solve. We already used this thing in another question also. Okay, so Cv equals to R divided by gamma minus 1. I can write it as nR divided by gamma minus 1 dt plus P dV. Okay, now see nR dt. We know ideal gas equation is PV equals to nRT. On differentiating it, P dV plus V dP is equal to what? nR dt. So here nR dt can be written as P dV plus V dP. Okay, so TDS is equal to what? LHS was this, okay, and this was RHS that I solved further. Equals to what? nR dt, that means this thing, P dV plus V dP divided by gamma minus 1 plus P dV. Okay, here just take this P dV common. P dV 1 divided by gamma minus 1 plus 1 plus V into dP. See, dP can be written as, using this equation, P equals to what? P naught minus alpha V. Okay, if I differentiate it dP, P naught we are given, P naught and alpha are positive constant. So differential of it will be 0, minus alpha is as it is, that is constant, and for V it can be written as dV. So I can write dP as minus alpha dV. Minus alpha dV. Okay. Here temperature T can be written as PV equals to nRT. This implies that T equals to PV divided by nR. Right? Just use it here. Okay. T can be written as PV by nR. Should I do it directly over here or write one more step? Okay, just let me write one more. PV divided by nR ds is equal to what? Here we did this thing, okay, na? We took P dV common. So P dV after taking common, here 1 divided by gamma minus 1 plus 1. Here it was V dP divided by gamma minus 1. So V dP divided by gamma minus 1. I hope it is clear to you, because here denominator for V dP was gamma minus 1, that I forgot to write. So here V minus alpha dV divided by gamma minus 1. Okay. Now if we proceed further, just take dV common from this equation. Okay, dV, if I take common, what is here? 1 divided by gamma minus 1 plus 1. 1 divided by gamma minus 1 plus 1. It will give me 1 plus gamma minus 1. That means 1 gamma divided by gamma minus 1. Okay, so after taking dV common, here P, this thing will become gamma divided by gamma minus 1. Okay, and this thing, okay, which is giving us minus alpha V divided by gamma minus 1. If I send it in this side, then, and this denominator dV here, okay, ds by dV is equal to what? P gamma divided by gamma minus 1 minus alpha V divided by gamma minus 1 multiplied by nR by PV. Okay, now we need to find what value of volume during process does the gas have maximum entropy. That means I need to get ds by dV equals to 0. Just substitute it and solve. That means what? This is same. So P gamma minus alpha V equals to 0. This implies that what we need to calculate? Volume V. Volume V equals to P gamma divided by alpha. Okay. But here P is also dependent on volume V, because P equals to P naught minus alpha V. So P naught minus alpha V multiplied by gamma divided by alpha, which equals to P naught gamma minus alpha V gamma divided by alpha. P naught gamma divided by alpha minus V gamma. The same thing happened what I thought the space would be less. See, I am using this here. Okay, please try to cooperate. Sorry for this small space. Okay, see, I can write V, send it in LHS, then V plus V gamma is equal to what? P naught gamma divided by alpha, right? If I take V common, it is 1 plus gamma equals to P naught gamma divided by alpha, That means volume V equals to P naught gamma divided by alpha 1 plus gamma. It is our answer, P naught gamma divided by alpha 1 plus gamma. Okay, option C is matching. Okay, so answer for 15th is option number C. I hope it is clear to you. It is having a lot of calculation stuff. Okay, so be careful while doing the calculation. We just need to use the first law of thermodynamics. Okay, du equals to dq plus dw. Use this equation. dq is tds, du is ncv dt, dw can be written as pdv. Okay, now ncv dt, cv using this Mayer's relation and gamma equals to cp by cv relation, I can get cv equals to r divided by gamma minus 1. Just substitute it. Okay, then we can write nr dt as pv equals to nrt, then pdv plus vdp equals to nr dt, just differentiating it. Okay, and use this stuff here, use this relation here. Okay, then use just take the pdv common, we get this relation. vdp divided by gamma minus 1 is substituted inside separately. v dp divided by gamma minus 1, then it is v divided by gamma minus 1. dp can be calculated using this relation, it is minus alpha dv. Just take dv common, then ds by dv, equate it to 0, then you will get v equals to p gamma by alpha. Because p is also containing volume v, use this relation, then solve further. It is simple calculation. You will get the final volume v equals to p naught gamma divided by alpha 1 plus gamma. Okay, so let's proceed to the next question. After the detonation of an atom bomb, the spherical ball of a gas was found to be 15 meter radius at a temperature of this. We are given R1 equals to 15 meter and temperature T1 equals to 3 into 10 power 5 Kelvin. Given the adiabatic expansion coefficient gamma equals to 5 by 3. Okay, we are given gamma equals to 5 by 3. What will be the radius of ball when its temperature reduces to this? Final temperature T2 gets reduced to 3 into 10 power 3 Kelvin. What is the radius at the temperature? Okay, then what is final radius R2? We are given that the process is adiabatic expansion. We need to use this relation for these. Okay, but do we know any relation between R and T? No, we know the relation between V and T, and we can easily calculate volume for the spherical ball. We are given spherical now, that means volume is equals to what? 4 divided by 3 pi r cube. Okay, we can use it. So let's start. For adiabatic process, we know the relation for V and T is T V to the, I hope my V and gamma are similar, but still V to the power gamma minus 1 is equal to constant, right? That means T1 V1 to the power gamma minus 1 is equal to T2 V2 to the power gamma minus 1. Okay, so from here I can write, I need to find what radius of this. Okay, just keep solving, you will get T2 equals to what? T1 V1 divided by V2 to the power gamma minus 1. Okay, T1 volume V1 equals to what? 4 divided by 3 pi R1 to the cube. For V2 it is R2 radius 4 by 3 pi R2 to the power cube. Gamma minus 1, gamma is given us 5 by 3, 5 by 3 minus 1, 5 by 3 minus 1 equals to 2 by 3, right? So it is 2 by 3, 4 by 3 pi cancels out. Okay, so we get T2 equals to T1 R1 by R2. They are having cube to the power 2 by 3, that means square. Okay, this implies that T2 by T1 equals to what? R1 by R2's square, and if I remove square from here, I can take root here, same thing. Okay, that means R2 is equal to what? If I send it here, R1, substituting it here, root T1 by T2. Okay, R1 is given as 15 meter, root T1 by T2. T1 is this 3 into 10 power 5, T2 is 3 into 10 power 3. Okay, root of 100, that means 10, 15 into 10, 150 meter. Okay, so 150 meters, C is our right answer. Some questions are still remaining from the GEST part. I hope we will do these also. It was part 2nd for the numericals of GEST. Just keep studying. Okay, your exams are already very near, so all the best for your exams. Keep doing. Thank you.